Hello YouTubers, it's me, Mr. 63, coming at you live. We have a big extensive haul video today, and I got another package arriving from DMW. So we got a lot to crack into, and I'm going to try to keep this as short and brief as possible. Remember guys, as always, consider checking out the channel for more content as usual, and we are definitely trying to make the road to 1,000 this year. So remember, let's get those shorts hours up and watch hours up. Anyway, without further ado, I'm going to crack into this. It's going to be a big video. All right. So I've noticed people like to watch maybe like 5-minute videos, if that. So let me crank into it. I have a lot of stuff to show. Like I literally got a whole table's worth. So let's crank on with main lines and we'll get on to the more premium stuff as usual. That's what I like to do. All right. So first off, in the Matchbox category, I managed to pick this up. The Renault Megane. This thing's pretty dope. Liking some of the Matchbox castings, and I'm definitely getting some of the new SUVs for sure. I mean, not SUV, but this is more of a track car, hot hatchback. Very, very cool. I also got the Fisker Karma, the GTS. This is the new model of the Karma, and this thing's pretty cool. I like that deep blue on it. It's pretty dope. Liking that color. I dig it. Anyway. Also got the new 70 Ranchero. Or the 70 Ranchero. That one's nice too. Gonna go good in my rack in my living room. Well, pretty much a lot of these Matchbox. I think all these Matchbox are gonna go in the rack in the living room. And finally, I did get the Bentley Bentayga. Car's been on Top Gear quite a bit lately. Thought that one was pretty cool. Again, like I said, if the video takes a while, excuse me for the lengthy, but it is going to be a while. So my buddy Matt sent me some freebie mainlines. So big thank you to Matthew Galmes for sending these out. Got the blue 96 Porsche Carrera GT. I do got this in white, but it was nice to finally get this color, or the colors that I got in variations. There's on the back. I mean, I've shown this car before. Alright, let's move on here. I got the white Porsche Carrera, also pretty cool. There's something on the back of this, and just realizing now, Matt does pay for some of these main lines. If the $4.99 is accurate, that's a good amount of money to pay for one of these. He goes to a comic shop, so that's where he gets a lot of these guys. Pretty cool. Alright. Let's move on. Alright, so we'll move on to the Copos, and then we'll get on to the more of the other stuff. 69 Copo Camaro. This one in yellow. Thought this one was nice. I don't know if I'm going to open some of these, keep them in box, but always nice to have some spares and very cool ones. Like it. So, glad to my buddy for shipping these out. Alright, so next one here, red Copo. Pretty cool. On the back here, they don't have anything. So that's pretty. Like red, love red, I'm a sucker for red. Very cool. And then this is the Rally Champs Ford Escort Cosworth. Have the Brian version of this, but I definitely thought this was pretty. I think this is a pretty cool one. All right. And next here we have a red Audi e-tron. I know you guys have probably seen this car before. However, I thought this one was nice to have in red. Nice release of this model too. Got the McLaren Elva. I'm setting these aside because I'm kind of going quickly here for what purposes are. So trying to move along pretty fast. Nice Elva for sure. Pretty sweet. It's up here. And finally, the blue Gulf Oil the 32 Ford. One of the castings I very much actively collect are the 32s, so definitely cool to have another one in the old collection. All right, now let's move on to the Matchbox, and we'll get on to some of the stuff from Stanley from North Kakalaki, and we'll get on to the consignment store stuff. So first off, now here is the Matchbox Mercedes-Benz, the 2014 G-Wagon. This being from Jurassic World Domination. They don't show what else is on the back, but this is pretty cool. Like I said, the Matchbox is definitely going in the living room rack for sure. Like the G-Wagon. Very cool casting. Alright, so next up here, kind of a unique one. I don't think I have this casting, period. This is the Ford F-150 truck. I like that one, honestly. So yeah, nice to see they're doing more Jurassic World stuff and doing a little more variety. Pretty sweet. Next up here we have the 2019, the Jeep Gladiator. Nothing's on the back, so I don't decide to show the back of these, but this is pretty cool. Alright, well that's it for a lot of my, some of the in-store finds and everything else. Now we're going to move on to my buddy Stanley's mainlines, and then we'll move on to the premium stuff, and we shouldn't be too long here in the video. Stanley sent me some stuff. This one is the Dragon Wagon in the red. Pretty cool little hot rod wagon. I do have the V8 radio flyer, so this is pretty dope. Evidently this one is capable of fitting your Lego minifigures. I usually think this kind of thing is kind of goofy. I don't like the Lego stuff, but this is kind of a good example of them done right. I don't mind that, actually. That's not too bad. I didn't know this fit minifigures, but I do think it's kind of a dope release, considering that's what these are designed to do. Alright, not spending too long on that. Just going to say it. So then again, and I did get the Batman Forever Batmobile. Been wanting to cop this release for quite a bit. So yeah, there's this one here. And I definitely knew casting, so put the back up there. You can read it if you want. I've definitely had my Joe this morning, so I'm kind of go. And I got Sherman an extra Batmobile, my neighbor, because he's a big Batman fanatic. Alright, so Stanley also sent me this 88, the Jeep Wagoneer. Very glad to have this guy in my collection for sure. This one's pretty sweet. And new model for the new year, I believe so. Unless I'm mistaken, this is one I definitely do not think I have at all. Very, very cool. Alright, so let's move on here. Finally got the Volvo P1800 gasser. Glad to finally have this guy for sure. Very, very cool. New for 23. Pretty sweet. Here is the back. In case you just want to read, this is from the Legends Tour. British guy actually owned this car, and this was done in England. And this guy was actually coming up on the drag racing scene. So that's pretty cool history. Gotta love the Legends Tour cars. And finally, in the main lines all around that I got is the Group C Fantasy. Even though Fantasy, very cool car release of this. So I do like this. Reminds me of a Porsche and just a combination of different touring cars. Here's the back if you want to read. That's a pretty cool piece. Alright guys, well, we're getting down to the last bit of the collectibles all around here. We're going to have a part 2 from Diecast Models Wholesale, one of my favorite companies to buy from. So let's crack on. Alright, so let's move on to Stan's stuff, and then we'll get on to the consignment store stuff and all the stuff back here. So this is the hydroplane. It's a team transport, and I'm finally glad to have this guy. Big thanks to Stan for sending this. This one is the Speedways, and I had a hot rod version with this with a 32. But I like the hydroplane, pretty unique. I know a lot of people aren't big fans of this release, but I definitely like it. And I definitely need this MG Metro right here still, wanting that. So, big thanks to Stan for sending this out. Alright, so next piece up here we got the Aero Sculpt. Pretty sweet there. Glad to finally have this thing too. Nice fantasy from the Boulevards. I think I'm pretty caught up on what I want. I wasn't interested in the Nova, the Subaru. I was interested in the Aero Sculpt and the Volvo from this series. Not going to get the RTR, but I did think these were pretty cool. Alright, so now I think that's everything as stands. Let's move on to what I traded at the consignment store, and then we'll keep moving. So I traded in two M2 machines, 1/24 scale, the Years of Hemi cars for this stuff, and I got the Blue Dairy Delivery. This one out of the Classic series. Very nice paint job, nice Spectraflame colors. I think the Classics is a really underrated series, in all honesty, in my opinion. They're not worth much, but they're still cool. Alright, so another piece here. I'm going to get the Hot Wheels down. This is the Hot Wheels Garage. The Larry Wood School Busted. This is a chase piece. His initials are indeed on the bottom of this car. Alright, so next up here, I did get the Ghost Rider, the blue Ghost Rider Charger. I like this one. Can't see what's on the series in the back, but love this card art for sure. Like my skulls, man, what can I say? Anyway, so we did get the drag truck, the collector's edition. I ain't got the sticker on there, but this is 50 years of Hot Wheels. Pretty cool. It's too bad they're not showing production run or anything like that, but it is still a pretty nice piece. The trade was pretty good in my opinion. And then I got the Classic Gold, this 70 Olds Executive. Maybe not one of the greatest years Oldsmobile, but it's kind of unique, and I like the convertible. I don't see 442s in this scale too much. And I'll hang this up in my living room likely. A lot of good Johnny Lightnings back then. Still needs showstoppers, and I definitely still need some more Frightening Lightnings. And I need some show rods too. Got to find some of those. Another piece I'd kind of forgotten to do this more in the order of, but I finally picked up the Astrovan and the Hot Wheels Pop Culture. I haven't collected a Pop Culture in God knows how long, and most of my Pop Culture I pretty much got rid of, but I didn't really like all the other cars in this series. I thought they were kind of meh, but I like this one, honestly. And now, one last couple things. This here is definitely one of the key pieces. Underrated piece. This is the RLC Dodge Power Wagon with the twisting body. I do like this in all honesty. Pretty cool. Very nicely detailed, and thank you, Stan, for sending this to me. I got it for about 50 bucks. I think this is very underrated when it comes to the RLC pieces, and I don't think a lot of them are going for too much, but I don't think 50 bucks is too bad, or 45, or what he sold it to me for. So there's that. And then, I think I didn't show this, but this is the box for the Batmobile that my neighbor Sherman gave me as trade for the A-Team van, but I got a couple things that are coming his way. So, the Batman Forever, and then the Hallmark ornament. So there's this one here. And then last but not least, I did order, and this is the big one here. This is probably the biggest investment that I made besides the Larry Wood chase. I finally got the Liberty Walk Sylvia S15 off of eBay. So I got a lot of packages today, and my third is arriving today. Very excited for Diecast Models Wholesale. So, stick around for part 2. Make sure you check the rest of the channel out. Not telling you anything that y'all need to know. Make sure you look at everything else. Oh, there's one I did forget. My bad. Before I head off here. I finally got the M2 machines 1/24 scale. the 55 Bel Air gasser. So another addition to add to the old Coke wall. I can't believe I missed that. Anyway, guys, alright, so that's everything right there. Everything for sure. Remember to, guys, always keep collecting out there, stay safe, stay on the hunt. And as always with diecast, it has to be 63. See you guys. Bye-bye.